everyone. We are so thrilled. Thank you for tuning in to the Epic Living series that we are launching right here from the largest women's show in the Pacific Northwest. And some people say one of the largest shows on the West Coast, but I don't know. I'd have to talk to my LA friends about that. We've got a great conversation coming up for you today. You know, I get to meet and talk with a lot of different people that do a lot of different things, and I never know how they show up. I never know why they show up. Sometimes I don't even know how I show up. But today, for many of you out there that are tuning us in for the first time, we promise that this is the first of a series that we're going to be doing, and you are invited to Epic Living TV. So today, you get to meet Dorothy Inez. You get to meet Dorothy Inez for a lot of reasons. But one of the things that I want to say is that she's here because she lives an epic life. There's not a word that can describe people that move beyond their obstacles, that just overcome what the hurdles are in life, and then come out in the world and say, I'm going to be of service for other people. Now, many of you might listen to this and you might say, oh, that's just you. That's just Dorothy Inez. That's just a million other people out there. But guess what? It's every single one of us. If you look at our lives, and Dorothy Inez is joining me here today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Look at, I don't know if you know how you got here, but I don't even understand how I got out of the Bronx. So I want to thank you for joining me here today. And I want to ask you this question. When I say epic living, living an epic life, overcoming challenges and obstacles, ABC and all the above, what do you think about in your own personal journey? What grabs your attention about your life?
What grabs my attention, first and foremost, was my decision to become a makeup artist at the age of 40. I was in corporate working for 22 years, managing in sales and service, and like yourself, had the background in HR, hiring people, and at 40, I listened. I don't know if you've heard of Les Brown, the motivational speaker.
Oh, I love Les Brown.
Yeah, I love that man.
I love Les Brown.
So it's because of him that I'm here today. I used to play his video, This Is Your Decade, to every single team member. And one year, for the first time, I heard it. I was sitting there getting these people to go out and live their dreams, and I wasn't living mine. So at the age of 40, I decided to let that life go and take a chance on me.
I don't know what it was, but I think something happens when you turn 40. That's what happened to me. And I think people put something in your water. And on all of a sudden, you look at your life. You're drinking it. And you're looking at your life, and you're looking in the mirror, and you're saying, oh, I didn't sign up for this, but we did sign up for it.
Right.
It's just now we have a new level of awareness. Tell me about becoming a makeup artist, because I have to tell you, I just love that whole idea of what you do.
Thank you.
You get to create and bring the beauty and the best and the creativity and the essence of whatever that is, whether it's a character, an individual.
Right. I really kind of set this up for myself while I was in corporate. I took a leave of absence because I was stressed out. And I went to makeup school out in LA because what inspires me is, like you said, when I look at each and every woman and I look into her eyes,
Yes.
I see beauty. I don't care what she looks like. Each woman is a masterpiece. It's just a unique creation, and I have the unique opportunity of helping that woman bring her beauty on the outside, the beauty that actually exists inside, and bring that forth. It's an amazing, I'm so moved by the work that I have the opportunity to do, because it's so personal to get in front of a woman, to have her take off her face, her mask, and have her expose herself. And I'm just moved by this opportunity that I have because it's something that transforms women. I had a client a few weeks ago, and she had been told all her life that she was ugly, that she wasn't beautiful. I mean, a lot of women go through that.
I grew up like that.
Yeah.
I did. I know what that feels like. You know? Chubby tubby.
Same here. And
Right.
women think that because, then I shared this on the stage over there today, that I don't always look like this, you know, but I want to communicate who I am on the inside, on the out. And when I was working with this woman and she saw herself for the first time, she never really wore makeup, and she looked at herself, and in silence, tears began to stream down her face. Sorry.
Wow.
Those are the kind of moments that move me in my work.
You know, this is something we should tell people today. There is a huge misconception in our culture about makeup.
Yes.
And we need to talk about that for a minute, if
Thank you for
you could
bringing it up.
enlighten us. And the reason that I want to talk about it is, if you go back in indigenous cultures, and my family is pretty eclectic. We have a lot of different things, everything from Brazilians to Argentinians to, you know, Italian. We have it all. But if you go back to the indigenous cultures, makeup, wearing makeup was an honor. It was symbolic. It had meaning. And, you know, in our society, because we are women, there is this idea that we're trying to hide something.
Right.
That we're not trying to bring the best of who we are symbolically to the forefront.
Exactly.
And I wanted you to talk to that for a minute, because you meet women in all walks of life.
Yes,
What have you seen? What is the burden that you find women carrying?
I feel like the biggest burden that I see women carrying is constantly criticizing themselves. They're constantly running this message that I'm ugly, I don't like this, I don't like that, my nose is too crooked, my eyes are too small. They just beat themselves up. And I used to be that person, you know, that's where in the corporate life, I always share my story that I'd walk around with that suit on, and I used power.
You have the little bow tie thing?
I didn't have the bow tie,
I had the
but
bow
I had
tie.
the scarves.
Oh, yeah. I had a bow tie.
Yeah, I'd wear those suits, and power was what I hid behind. But inside, I was really hurting. And it wasn't until I went on this journey of self-love and found out who I was, that I am valuable, that I am beautiful, just the way that I am. I don't need to be like that model on TV. I don't need to get all kinds of plastic surgery or anything to be beautiful and show up as I am. And I see, you would think even like, I'm telling you about how I was in that power suit. I have news anchors that are my clients. And you would think, oh, they're on TV. These women are so confident.
Right.
But they're not.
No.
The minute we take off the makeup, there's all this stuff that comes up. And that's what I like to work with. That's what I like to align for women, is who you are. Who is the I am, the real I am of who you are, not what someone says you should be.
You know, I love that you're talking about this, because, you know, I think for many of us that have gone the corporate world, we did have a sense of, let's just call it power, but really it was disempowering for us. And I'm glad you brought this up, because, you know, for all of us, there's a sense of confidence we must build. And you must see it all the time in the work that you do. Now, your own journey, the courage to leave, you know, how did you come to be Dorothy Inez?
Well, my very first coach back in the day, I was Inez. Everybody in my family knows me as Inez. And my very first coach asked me, what do you want to call your business? Do you want to have a name for it, or do you want to be Inez? What do you want to call yourself? And I said, I want to go by my first and my middle name. And I hate being called Dorothy, and I don't like being called Inez. It's Dorothy Inez said together, because what Dorothy means is gift of God. And Inez means with a pure heart. And that's who God has called me to be to every single woman that I serve, every woman that sits in my chair. Every time you say my name, it's no longer a name. It is now a consciousness of who God has called me to be.
And it's a vibration and an energy. I was sharing before, you know, Dr. Pat, never. I mean, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in the projects. And so it's funny. After the downsizing, went back to school, didn't know why. Didn't go back to the corporate world like everybody thought I would.
Right.
You know, go back. You got this big degree, go back. I'm like, I cannot do that. Dialed the wrong phone number, started the radio show. And then everybody starts to call me Dr. Pat. Here I'm trying to hide it.
Uh-huh.
And lo and behold, here we are. But the thing that I know is that for you and for me, we've been given an opportunity to show up. What does
Yes.
showing up mean for you now in this world?
Showing up, what it means for me is doing the work that I believe that I'm called to do to serve the women who have a story similar to mine. Because my story didn't stop at 40. It continues on. I'm 47 now, and I keep journeying every day. Like I will announce here that I'm going to take another courageous step, and I'm going to be moving to Los Angeles.
Wow.
It is something that I've been so afraid of all of my life. I let fear hold me back from a place that I've yearned to go through all of my life. And it's just about being courageous, because I feel like we have more years behind us than we have left.
That's
and
right.
I'm not going to spend the rest of those wondering, what if you had moved to LA? What
Right.
if you had tried to become a makeup artist?
Right.
What if, Dorothy Inez? I'm going to know.
What you're talking about is one of the essence works of epic living. I'm really struck by your courage, but your ability to be so clear about your yes in life. What would you say to women, others listening to the show, watching it, about the acts of courage that they're meant to do? What could we say to help them take that first step?
I would say, first of all, is be open to doing the work. Be open to going inside, because that's what the first step for me was, is learning who I was through journaling, through meditation, beginning to surround myself with other like-minded women. I think that's so instrumental, because we as women really either hinder each other or we can uplift each other. And I just made sure I kept myself in that circle, and just thinking about what's possible. That's the biggest thing, is I literally would play when I go to LA. What is my life going to look like? What is it going to feel like? I let my body sense all of that. And inside of that possibility, I'm able to step into the change, because I know something good is waiting for me on the other side.
Yes.
Because it's like when you think about, you can keep on doing what you're doing and keep on getting the same results, or you can take a chance on you.
Yes.
And have something greater waiting for you on the other side.
I love that you're saying that, because I have to tell you, just real quick, I work with two individuals. They are regular co-hosts with me on my show, Dr. Dane here and Gary Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
These two guys are the founders of Access Consciousness, and they teach people how to live in the question. So the question they've taught me this past year is, whatever is showing up like this, not are we going to do it, or are we not going to do it, or is there enough time? What else is possible? It's the question I live my life by.
Yes.
And here you are. That's the question that's going to get you to rise up and move to a place, and you may not know all the answers.
Right. And that's where faith comes in.
Yes.
It's stepping into that, not knowing all the answers, but trusting that God is going to take care of that. It's not worrying about the how. Because the moment I put it out there that I was going to LA, I cannot tell you how much stuff is starting to come my way, and I haven't even gotten there yet.
I know it. And you know why? You said the magic word.
Tell me the magic word.
God.
Yes.
And I've interviewed more women today. And what I love about this, I could do 100 interviews and no one will ever mention the word God. And I have every interview I've done today. And it's so funny, because most of us have had challenges. I'm sure you have had challenges.
Oh, lots of them.
I've had challenges. And I think what you're sharing here today is for everyone to remember that if we get governed by the laws of God, or whatever higher power, whatever people believe in, we don't need to know all the details, do we?
Yes. That's everything I do is based on, I call it my GPS, my God positioning system.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
It's what It's what I'm downloading even as we speak. It's what's coming forth through me to you. It's what he says to me, my Father. That's what leads me in everything that I do.
I love you. Please tell folks how they can find out more about you.
You can find out more about me at www.dorothyinez.com. Again, that's www.dorothyinez.com. And you can also follow me on Facebook at dorothyinez.com.
I want to thank you today for joining me. I am so in awe of you. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that the countless women that see this today will understand that there is power and empowerment in taking a risk for yourself in life.
Yes.
And I think that's what you stand for.
It's never
you're
too
showing
late.
everyone, right? And much luck in LA. I will see you down there.
Yes. And
Love
I'll be
to go
back
to
here
LA.
too. I'm back
Love
and
to.
forth like you. International.
Thank you. Dorothy Inez, everyone.
Thank
One more time,
you.
give out your website again.
www.dorothyinez.com. I look forward to seeing you there.
All right. Thank you. We'll be right back.